Hey, let's play some damn chess with the dice spit. Spit, spit, spit. With the dice spit. Suck my you stupid motherfucker. Suck my dick, bitch. I ain't falling for that fucking shit. Suck my slut. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Now fuck up and you suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. I'm coming after that whore. Move, you whore! You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. With the sharpness of her arm. With the spit, spit, spit. Suck my slut, you shut up! Bitch, suck my dick, bitch. Bitch, suck my dick, bitch. You suck, man. You suck. God damn it. God fucking damn it. God fuck it. Suck my dick, bitch. God fucking damn it. You see, you're that fucking pissed me off. I forgot what the fuck was I was. That fucking shit pisses my ass off, so I'm kind of fucking going. Suck my dick, bitch. I say, now fuck up and move that whore right here. Come on, you whoremonger. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Suck my slut. Yo, suck my dick, bitch. Suck my motherfucking dick. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my slut. God damn it.
But like many other personality tests, yes, it is highly, highly limited, and I think not really taken seriously by psychologists in a rigorous way, at least.
Do you think we can, I mean, are there tests? Can you distill the complex person down using questionnaires?
Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch.
To an extent, I mean, I think this thing about the Big Five, I forget exactly what it was. I covered it in one of the tutorials, which were written by a psychologist for me. Yeah, there are ones that are taken to be more credible than Myers-Briggs, but I don't think that any psychologist points to one specific test and says this is the be-all end-all determination of personality. That's if it's even possible, it's still highly impractical to assess in that kind of a format.
Science denialism. I was talking to somebody recently about the fact that here in the 21st century we have people who deny the existence of germs, or at least germ theory.
Stupid.
So this is a trend I've noticed actually, because this is something that is being committed in astrophysics by charlatans in the realm of astrophysics, as well as biology. So this new trick of the charlatan is to go back in time in the history of science and find obsolete science from whether it's 50 years ago or 150 years ago or whatever, and then simply lift it and use it as though it's a viable current paradigm. Because the thing is that it comes prepackaged with buzzwords and talking points that makes their job really easy. So right now with biology, it's terrain theory. So if you go way back to like the time of Louis Pasteur, there was this discussion of, okay, we just figured out that pathogens exist. There's bacteria, and then later we found out that there's viruses. And then we had to figure out that they cause disease. And we figured this out a very long time ago. So any other competing idea of what pathogens do or don't do was discarded a very long time ago. So people who want to peddle science now, they just go back in time, they take terrain theory, they use the terminology of the time and go, hey, this is a competing thing. No, it's not. It hasn't been for 200 years. So what are you talking about? We know what bacteria and viruses do. This is insane. The field of virology is a thing that exists.
That shit
we study viruses, so it's not even just that some people deny that pathogens cause disease. Some people literally deny the existence of pathogens. They say viruses do not exist.
That's fucking stupid.
Bananas.
Yeah, don't you just want to get in the car and just drive over the cliff? I mean, you see this and you're like, how we were progressing, not regressing. It's not just the anti-vax stuff that we see. And the
flat earthers.
Flat Earth, what a great example.
Like the dumbest thing any human can believe. It's just it's mind-boggling that anyone
can. Come on, let's get psychological. Why do you think people buy into it? Is it tribes?
Well, it's okay. I mean, if we're being completely honest, it is a combination of delusional narcissism and a severe cognitive deficit. So it's exclusively people that have zero capacity for critical thought, that also fantasize about being, I'm the Neo in the Matrix, I'm this one who knows the truth, and all these sheep are bought the lie. Because the thing is that it's not like anti-vax. Like the notion that, oh, pharma put a thing in the vaccine, okay, it's wrong, but like, it doesn't violate the laws of physics to think that there could be something harmful in a vaccine. Whereas Flat Earth is so easily debunkable by naked eye observations and logic a toddler could understand. So it's totally indefensible to engage in this. The only explanation is this idea of conspiracy and government, and it's not even the government, it's every government all over the world, one huge cabal of lizard people that are controlling everything that has ever happened in history. To what? For what? For what purpose, right? It doesn't even achieve anything.
Well, the reason I was talking about tribes, and it's probably the foremost on my mind because I'm working on a presentation about this sort of in-group, group psychology, social identity,
Suck my dick, bitch.
Where these people can get together and they hold groups and meetings and conventions, and the fact that the rest of the world disagrees
Suck
with
my
them
dick, bitch.
actually helps to validate them or make them feel validated.
Suck my
The more we're persecuted for our truth, the more we know we must be onto something, and then they're around all of these other validating personalities, and they come together and becomes really an evolved example of social cohesion, tribes.
And then furthermore, they establish these little communities, and then they vie for supremacy within the community. So they have little conferences, and then the different flat earthers are all wanting to be the one that pocket the thing. Or honestly, it's true of any conspiracy theory. We're talking about anti-vax, we're talking about anything, QAnon, all of these things. What you've said is completely accurate and applies to all of them. And this is unfortunately the downside of the internet. Right now that we are in the information age, we have the democratization of information, and so you can no longer suppress information. You can't hide the fact that a government is butchering its people in some corner of the world, because people are going to get on Twitter and expose it. But also, these people who made this ridiculous community were not able to find each other prior to the internet. So this is the downside of the information age, and unfortunately it's proving to be an unbelievable problem, an enormous problem.
Talking here with science educator Dave Farina of the channel Professor Dave Explains. Okay, I'm hearing this a lot, and it makes me crazy. We need to make sure both sides of the issue are presented. And this can be about germ theory, flat Earth, round Earth, COVID, whatever. And it drives me crazy because, first of all, it distills it down again that there must be an A or B answer, right? It's a binary way of looking. And two, I feel like it's giving credibility to people who show up with the wackiest bullshit on the planet, and we're supposed to give them equal time. Do you address the idea like we must teach the controversy kind of thing? What's your approach?
I mean, my approach is to call it out where I see it. So I have a zero tolerance policy for this kind of stuff. Where I see pseudoscience, I call it out. I call it for what it is. So no, I absolutely do not think 2 + 2 is 4. There's no other. We're not entertaining the idea that it equals 5 or 3 or square or whatever, anything else.
I mean, what would you do with those people, though? I mean, if they show up and demand an equal seat at the table, are we supposed to just, laugh them out of the room, or, what's the move?
Depending on what room you mean specifically. I mean, I just make content on the internet that exposes all of these lies. If we're talking about a conference or something, then let's say we're talking about a particular field of science, then the experts in that field determine who's invited to that conference, and so there's no flat earthers that are invited to the astrophysics conference. So there's no danger of them unless they barge in and then everyone just points and laughs at them and they get dragged away by security. But unfortunately, on the internet, on Twitter and things like that, everybody has a right to have a profile and say what they want, and this is one of the main ways that this misinformation is spreading. And so on those platforms where everyone does have a say, which from a certain perspective they ought to, I just like to expose and humiliate and berate them relentlessly. There are many other strategies. I encourage other people to take more nuanced approach to it, but I'm just not that guy. If you're going to talk about flat earth, or if you're going to spread lies, like yesterday, this woman that keeps popping up in my feed said something about, injecting hydrogen peroxide is a great therapy. It's like, you're gonna get people killed. And I used very strong language, and this woman is a monster. Report this tweet. Get this profile banned from Twitter. This is, when you're putting people's lives in jeopardy, we're not gonna do I see what you're saying. No. This is ridiculous. You're wrong. You have no clue what you're talking about. This is dangerous. You deserve to be booted from the platform.
It's like whack-a-mole, though. I mean, I'm not saying it's not important.
Yeah.
But, you cut off one head and man, more appear, especially these days, right?
Yeah, it does feel very disheartening, and it does feel futile at times. And so I'm definitely not sitting here going like, oh, I know exactly what to do, everybody follow me. I'm just sort of doing what's available to me given the tools that I have. But that's why part of my outreach is to go to universities and talk to science students and say, hey, are you perhaps not so thrilled about the prospect of a career either working in the lab or teaching at a university? Here's this third option, science communication. We need you. We need young scientific minds who are passionate about storytelling or content creation or public outreach or whatever it is. We need you guys. We need an army here, right? We need a lot of people working on this problem, exclusively figuring out how to get the public to understand science.
That is a problem in technical fields. I was talking to Kara Santa Maria about it, to have such a great thing to communicate, but we don't have a lot of, we have more, but we don't have nearly enough communicators, right, to tell the story of science.
Yes.
Do you agree?
I would agree, because this concept of a career science communicator, which is what I am, is still relatively recent, right? It used to be, like, everybody thinks to Carl Sagan, sort of the godfather of SciComm, and he was an astronomer. He was a prominent astronomer, and then he pivoted to public outreach, and then, same with Neil Tyson and a lot of these people, and there still are a lot of people in the scientific and medical communities that take some of their time to communicate their science, which is very laudable, and I applaud them and I appreciate them because they're experts in their field. However, they're very busy. They do science. They are doctors. They are all these other things. This is what I do. This is what I do. I look at what the public is saying, what they're thinking. I try to figure out where they're going wrong, where I can correct it. This is all I am thinking about, and we need thousands more people doing exactly this.
Okay, Dave, tell me about this guy. Just because I've been watching, I have a spot in the cheap seats, and I've been watching this scrap going on between you and is it Dr. James Tour, T-O-U-R? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, just like the normal word, yeah.
Who is Dr. James Tour, and what the hell is going on?
So he is a chemist at Rice University, and he's also a creationist and apologist who lies about origin of life research. So earlier we were talking about the Discovery Institute. So most of the Christian nationalist anti-science propaganda in the biological sciences is directed at evolution. So they all are trying to deny evolution, and they want intelligent design in the public school science classes, etc. But James is the only one that has tackled origin of life research. So not the evolution of life, but its origin, for how the first living cell came about. And he's able to do this. He's the only one amongst them who's able to do this because he is a chemist. He is a working, publishing chemist. So he has a command of the chemistry vernacular, and he's able to fool people into thinking that he knows what he's talking about, even though he does not work in this anything remotely related to this field. He does material science, so he makes graphene and nanocars and things like that, which has absolutely nothing to do with origin of life research. He does not understand the field, and he grossly misrepresents it, slanders researchers in the field, and basically tries to paint the entire field of thousands and thousands of researchers as totally invalid top to bottom, a complete scam. Pretends to be neutral about it, but obviously as a creationist he believes that God created life. He's ideologically opposed to the idea of abiogenesis, or life arising from natural processes, and so he has been sort of handpicked by Discovery Institute to be the wing of the DI single-handedly that attacks origin of life research, and he's been doing this for years. I caught wind of it and started making content debunking him. It went back and forth and escalated to the point where this clamor for debate arose, and so we did finally do that a couple weeks ago at Rice University.
God damn it.
My opponent's favorite origin of life expert, Professor Lee Cronin, now writes and says on multiple occasions that, quote, origin of life research is a scam, unquote, and, quote, there are lots of layers to the scam, unquote. A scam means a dishonest scheme or a fraud. It's beautiful. It's as if Professor Lee Cronin has been scientifically born again.
Of course, the idea that an origin of life researcher would be admitting that his entire body of work is fraudulent is totally idiotic, and any rational viewer can surmise that this tweet is a joke with zero further context. Still, one can find this further context by Googling for 10 seconds. Here is Lee explaining to podcaster Lex Fridman what he meant.
Origin of life research is a scam. So if this is Shakespeare, can we analyze this word? Why is the origin of life research a scam? Aren't you kind of doing origin of life research?
Okay, it was tongue-in-cheek, but yeah, I think, and I meant it as tongue-in-cheek. I'm not doing the origin of life research. I'm trying to make artificial life. I also want to bound the likelihood of the origin of life on Earth, but more importantly, to find the origin of life elsewhere. But let me directly address the tweet. There are many, many good chemists out there doing origin of life research, but I want to nudge them, and I think they're brilliant. There's no question. The chemistry they are doing, the motivation is great. So what I meant by the tweet is saying maybe they're making assumptions about saying only I could make this particular type of molecule, say this RNA molecule, or this phosphodiester, or this other molecule. It's going to somehow unlock the origin of life. And I think that Origin of Life has been looking at this for a very long time, and whilst I think it's brilliant to work out how you can get to those molecules, I think that chemistry and chemists doing Origin of Life could be nudged into doing something even more profound.
Big surprise! For the full conversation, visit the interview link below. Lee is saying that the creation of artificial life is more interesting to him than getting a precise historical model of how life arose on Earth. As you can see, James...
Boop, that girl was cute. Let me touch her head.
He is host of the YouTube.
With a girl.
One of the pitches was that, this was an accelerator.
Where's that goddamn girl? You see, that fucking pisses me off.
Jesus and the Apostle Paul are two of the most important figures in Christianity. One is the Son of God and Saviour of the world. The other is a founding figure of the Church, and a man whose teachings and writings continue to inform the theology of modern Christianity. Surely, Paul's writings teach Jesus' message, don't they? Today we're exploring the differences between the teachings of Jesus and Paul, and why many Christians will tell you that, actually, they teach the same thing. Stay tuned for all of that, and much more. Welcome to Misquoting Jesus with Bart Ehrman, the only show where a 6-time New York Times best-selling author and world-renowned Bible scholar uncovers the many fascinating, little-known facts about the New Testament, the historical Jesus, and the rise of Christianity. I'm your host, Megan Lewis. Let's begin. Ask most Christians, and they'll likely tell you that Jesus and Paul teach the same things about salvation and how to attain it. Ask a critical scholar of the New Testament, and they'll probably tell you something else. How and why did Paul change Jesus' message? To answer those questions, we have, as always, Bart Ehrman. But before we get to that, Bart, hello, how are you today?
Doing pretty well today. We've had kind of rough weather here for a while, and the sun is out today, and so when this is done, I'm going to take my dog for a long walk. And my dog is she's a golden doodle who is, doodles or poodles or dogs are water dogs, and this is a dog who doesn't like water. so not just rain, but she won't swim. And so anyways, it's a sunny day. I'll take her out. Yeah. So how are you doing? You have pets?
No spit.
We have cats. Yeah, I do. We have a couple of cats and multiple fish. And I grew up with animals who are absolutely water animals, and anytime we lived in a very rural area with a lot of ponds and lakes and fields that we could go and romp through, so anytime we took the dogs out, someone would come home soaking wet. Yeah. And then you just have wet dog smell for the rest of the day.
Well, that's it, and it's not easy to drive dogs, and it's it takes a while, and they do, it does create an olfactory sensation.
A wet dog.
It really does. It's very on the pungent side.
Yeah, you're right.
So I was wondering, you and I both go back and forth to the UK and between the UK and the US quite regularly, and I am a very food-oriented person, and there are certain foods that when I'm in the UK I will either make sure that I eat or make sure that I buy to bring home to the US. So I was wondering if there's anything that you either take...
Knife spit and knife spit.
But you have to rescue me.
Knife spit and knife spit. Knife spit and knife spit. Knife spit and knife spit.
Stop with the bugs.
Knife spit and knife spit.
My time, I could lose it, but I'd be out of line. So here we are, on the side of the road. The sun is out, lightning my load. Just about tiring.
Knife spit and knife spit.
But it's just songs on the bed. Oh, see, cause we feel things the stars ahead of us. Searching for empty hearts, spinning because so hopeless.
I see a dick in your future. I see a dick.
Everything begins to go
I'm fixing that. You're right. I'm fixing that. I'm fixing that. I'm fixing that. You're right. I'm fixing that. You're right.
So what is it? Oh,
Fucker.
the heart of times.
That off your left ear. You slut. Suck my dick, bitch. Stupid! Cause you a stupid fucker. Stupid fucker.
It almost makes me wish for rain. When everything begins to go my way, this guilty feeling comes along with you know, it almost makes me wish for rain. It almost makes me wish for rain. The sun is out and I should feel the rays. It's like I'm waking to a dream day after day. It almost makes me wish for rain.
I see a dick in your future. I see a dick. God
Bring
damn it.
me to life again. The funny thing is that when I am okay, oh, it makes me wish for rain.
Knife spit, knife spit.
Pretend
Move, you slut.
when I am not on the edge of the fray, it almost makes me wish for rain. When everything begins to go my way, this guilty feeling comes along with you know, it almost makes me wish for rain. It almost makes me wish for
It almost makes me wish for wash the rain.
sun is out and I should feel the rays. It's like I'm waking to a dream day after day. It almost makes me wish for rain.
Come on, you slut. Knife spit and knife spit. You goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. Stupid! Stupid fucker. You stupid motherfucker. I fucked his hole! Don't make me stick my dick up your butt. Goddamn motherfucker. You goddamn fish fucker. Wish pit.
And my head is in my hands, don't know where this ends. My fists are clenched and I'm so angry with you. You say that I'm the one who's gone insane. Oh, I'll just be the one who's gone insane. My heart's so heavy, I'm gonna need your help. Losing my grip, I'm holding everything else. My fists are clenched and I'm so angry with myself. The time we share is in the suffering. All alone in this
God damn it.
Gonna call me the one who's gone insane. Oh, I'll be the one who's gone insane. Gonna call me the one who's gone insane. 'Cause I'll be the one who's gone insane.
God damn it. Suck my dick, bitch.
My vision's cloudy, can't seem to find my way around what's been said.
God damn it.
You're throwing words like darts at my
God
head.
fucking damn it.
Been the target many times before.
God fucking damn it.
I even feel
God fuck it.
You can't call me the one who's gone insane.
Now fuck up and bring that cone in
'Cause
here.
we know you're the one who's gone insane. Gonna call me the one who's gone insane.
Now fuck up and take that cone.
Who's gone insane.
Spit,
I'm
spit,
not the
spit,
only one to
spit,
blame.
spit. Shame a little extra treat.
I'm not the
Spit,
only one
spit,
to
spit,
blame.
spit, spit, spit. Spit, spit,
I'm not
spit,
the only one to blame. I'm not the only one. No, just keep on calling me.
Don't even think about you, slut.
What to say? I'm not the only one to blame. I'm not the only one. No, just keep on calling me. Tell me what to say. I'm not the only one to blame. I'm not the only one.
God damn it. Stupid, you stupid motherfucker. Stupid. Alright, fuck shit. Oh! Stupid fucker. You stupid motherfucker. Stupid fucker. You stupid fucker. Oh, you want to swap pores? Okay, we'll swap pores. Come on, let's swap pores. You slut. Come on, you slut. From China? You Chinese motherfucking slut.
I can be the one who's gone insane.
Come on, you Chinese slut. You North Korean whore from China. Shit.
From the US to the UK to sustain yourself during your summer trip,
Suck my
or going
slut.
from the UK back to the US again.
I almost never take anything over. It's a good question because but I almost never take anything over. It used to be that part of the reason was because the thing that I really didn't like about England when I first started
Come on,
going
you
there
slut.
about whatever that would be, 30 years ago, is
Now
you couldn't
fuck
get
it over
coffee.
this.
I mean, it was like instant coffee. You'd go to a place to get coffee, like you'd be buying coffee, and they'd put instant coffee in a cup and add water. And what is this? And so, but finally, they cordoned on, and now it's an amazing place for coffee and for food. People have always kind of badmouthed the Brits for like boiling the vegetables to death and like not knowing how to cook. And man, has that ever changed? It is a foodie place, and so I don't take anything over. And there are things there that I prefer. For a long time it was hard to get chocolate here. You could, but like not in stores so much. But now it's fantastic here. But England always had much better chocolate, and even things like, I don't eat candy much, but like a Kit Kat or a Malteser, oh my God, that's amazing. It's like, oh, that is good. So in terms of what I bring back, though, I do bring something back, but it isn't like a snack.
God damn it!
The airports, international airports in England have very fine whiskey selections. So much better than I can get here in North Carolina. And so I'm always bringing back a bottle of some kind of really, really nice single malt Scotch, which I don't drink
Suck my slut.
as I used to. I was never
Suck my
alcoholic or
dick,
anything, but I've got back here as I'm getting older. But I really like having a single malt whiskey sometimes at night, and the variety quality is so good over there that that's what I bring back.
Excellent. Not the answer I was expecting, but a fantastic response.
Yeah. Well, do you bring things back really from England?
I do actually, and on the miscooking vegetables note, my grandmother boiled vegetables until she was certain they were dead.
My dick, bitch.
Made fantastic roast potatoes, but the vegetables were always very, very soft.
Okay.
No, when I'm coming back, I have a huge sweet tooth, and I miss what I would call biscuits. Not American biscuits, they're cookies, but for people who haven't had British biscuits, they're harder than your average American cookie. So there are certain biscuits that I'll bring home, and
now
I have a huge weakness for
that rook right here.
Green apple flavoured candy, which is
really?
quite tricky. Yeah, it's quite tricky to find here. And there are these pencils, long sticks of green apple candy, so I bring those home with me.
Yeah. Well, apple varieties are different too. I mean, what are they? Bramley? What's the kinds you cook apple pie? Bramley?
Yeah.
The really, really tart ones are tartar than Granny Smith's here, and they're fantastic for pies. Yeah, so it's actually fun going back and forth because the cuisine does differ. And it used to be in London you couldn't get any good food except for Indian if you went out to eat. And now, man, it is a foodie place.
Mm-hmm. No, it's good. My oldest daughter is having next week. I think she has to cook some kind of British food for her classmates, and I'm like, well, we can do a curry, or we can do toad in the hole, or her favourite's curry, so I think we might end up making a curry, which doesn't strike people as a particularly British food, but curry is everywhere.
Colonial age, it was.
Okay, we should get off food, because otherwise people will start telling us off for talking not enough about the New Testament and early Christianity.
Right.
But we're talking today, as I said, about the teachings of the Apostle Paul and how they compare to Jesus and kind of why they differ. And this is a subject we've touched on before, but we're going to be coming at it from a slightly different angle than we have done, so it's going to be more information, new information. To start out with, though, why do you think it's important to consider the teachings of Paul?
Well, there are a lot of people today still who would say that Paul's the founder of Christianity. I don't agree with that, but at all. But I see why they say it, because it kind of goes back to this old adage that you found in scholarship in the early 20th century, which was that Christianity is the religion about Jesus rather than the religion of Jesus. In theological circles, especially in Germany and elsewhere in Europe, in the early 20th century, people started realizing that when you reconstruct the life of the historical Jesus, he's not preaching what the apostles preached, and the apostle we know best in terms of his preaching is Paul, and that Paul's message was different from Jesus' message, and so that was a thing. And in the early 20th century, there were kind of these debates. Do you go, are you interested in the Jesus of history or the Christ of faith? And the idea is that those are very different things, and that Paul preaches the Christ of faith, and the historical Jesus is a different thing.
So if you don't see Paul as being a founder of Christianity, what role did his writings play in the formation of the religion, and what role do they continue to play in modern Christianity?
Well, Paul's writings are huge. I mean, there are 27 books in the New Testament. 13 of them, nearly half of them, claim to be written by Paul. Scholars don't think that's the critical judgment generally is that 6 of those 13 actually were not written by Paul, but by people claiming to be Paul, which is something we could do episodes on later. But at least 13 claim to be written by Paul. One other book was accepted into the New Testament, the book of Hebrews, because church fathers came to think it was written by Paul, even though it wasn't. One other book, the book of Acts, is written about Paul. Mainly, he's the main character in Acts. And other books are responding to Paul. The book of James, probably, the Gospel of Matthew. And so, like, well over half, probably 2/3 of the New Testament, in one way or another, is related to Paul. And so his writings have shaped the theology of Christianity in ways that nothing else has. So sometimes people talk about Paul as co-founder of Christianity. I think that's a little bit too extreme, but I think he's certainly the most important figure of Christianity after Jesus ever, and nobody's ever going to top Paul when it comes to that. He's absolutely fundamental how Christianity developed after Jesus' death.
So switching gears slightly to look at Jesus, what would you say are the most important messages in his teachings that are presented in the Gospels?
Motherfucker.
So, part of the task of historical scholarship is to separate out what Jesus actually said from what he's reported to have said.
I just aired your rook.
It may sound kind of artificial to people, or it may sound like, you're just making stuff up, but there are really good reasons for thinking that people were putting sayings of Jesus on his lips, things that he didn't really say. And in fact, nobody doubts that, because we have these other Gospels from outside the New Testament, and nobody thinks Jesus said these things that are in these Gospels, and so people are saying things and saying that Jesus said them. And it looks like that's happening in the New Testament as well, because there's all sorts of things that there are very solid reasons for thinking he didn't say. And so the task is to figure out what did he say, and it's not an easy task. Many people spend their
You stupid motherfucker.
But my view, in a 20-second nutshell, is I think that Jesus' main teaching,
I was hoping you fuck up
God's kingdom was sent to his
I set my dick
to turn their lives around and to repent and turn back to God, because the day of judgment was coming soon. And when the day of judgment came, God would destroy all of his enemies and everybody who was opposed to him, and he would reward those who sided with him and who worked to do his will by giving them an eternal kingdom here on earth, a utopian place that would be kind of like paradise was originally for Adam and Eve. It's what God had intended for people, and it's what he still intends for people. A paradise kind of existence for those who obey him. And so Jesus knew full well that most people did not obey God, and so he was urging people to repent so that God would forgive them for the sins they committed and allow them to enter into the kingdom. I think that's the thrust of his message. Repent, because the kingdom of God is near. As it turns out, that is exactly what he says in his first recorded words. Mark chapter 1, verse 15 marks our earliest gospel. These are the first things that Jesus says, and he says exactly that.
You stupid motherfucker. I was so hoping you fuck up and knew that.
How does that compare to Paul's main messages and main teachings that come through in the writings that we know are from him?
Yeah. I think it's pretty clear when you study the sayings of Jesus and see what he really taught, that his main emphasis was on the need to return to God so that he will forgive you. And so, for example, even in the Lord's Prayer, where Jesus says in the Lord's Prayer, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Well, how do you forgive a debtor? So if somebody owes you money and you forgive them the loan, they don't have to pay the loan. You just forgive the loan. And it doesn't mean that somebody else pays for them. It doesn't mean that that you get your money back somehow or other, or you restructure the loan, or you delay the loan. You forgive the loan. And Jesus thinks of God as somebody who forgives our moral debt to him. So it was all about forgiveness. Paul does not talk about forgiveness.
God damn it.
But the idea of
God
repent
damn it.
and you will be forgiven
God
is
damn
not
it.
in Paul. Paul's view is that Jesus' death brought about
God
an atonement
damn
for
it.
sin. That people had
fucking
sinned,
damn it.
and they incurred a penalty. The penalty is death.
Damn it.
For the wages of sin is death, says Paul. And the penalty has to be paid because God is just. But Jesus paid the penalty for others. Jesus died in the place of others. His death is a substitute for the death of others. And so it's a substitutionary atonement, a sacrificial act that makes somebody right with God. Paul did not think that God forgave people. He thought that God accepted the atonement of Jesus. And so it's a different conception of how salvation comes about. I want to say that I don't think Paul
God damn it. Man, I'm fucking you up. Why have this goddamn sound? God damn it. Come on, you goddamn motherfucker. God damn it. God damn it.